We have to explore this cave that we just found, or cave tunnel, whatever. I feel like this is where you find snakes. I think those are the train tracks. Oh my god. We did it.
You just kind of have to like test each rock.
Ooh, there's a spider hole. We made it.
Man, if you were a hobo, this would be a nice little
Hobo tunnel.
Like a shindig.
Oh, there's lots of bees nests in there.
Well, this was nice and adventurous.
This is so cool. Today's video is starting out.
Okay. I kinda slipped.
Kyla and I are out filming a Honda Passport review right now, and we just did a little bit of exploration in this like train tunnel, and I figured I'd start out today's video while I'm filming another video out here. It's pretty fun. Grab it. There you go. This was so cool. Whoa. I gotta go back to work on the review, so this video will continue in a momento once I finish doing work. I'm doing work while doing work. I love what I do for work. It is the next day, and I got a pumpkin flavored donut, and I'm gonna work on the TT. It's pumpkin. I got some cucumber mint water to rinse it down with. Yummy. All right, so if you guys missed out on the last video working on the TT, I have been struggling at trying to finish the entire suspension overhaul on this car, and it's a lot of work, and I've been like super stressed out because it's been taking so long to get it done. I got a boot. This is so satisfying to play with. I'm gonna try to avoid that in this video, so I'm not putting any deadlines on myself to get any work done. I'm just gonna work. So cue that time lapse so I can get some stuff done. While I have this car all apart, I have a torn boot on my passenger side front tie rod end that I need to replace. I actually ordered 2 of these boots and threw one of them away somehow. So this is the second new boot that I've ordered for the car. I'm just gonna pop off this tie rod end and replace it after I spin this nut off. The retaining band that holds this tie rod boot in place on the inside by the steering rack is a nightmare to tighten because there's a shield that protects it from the heat of the downpipe up above. At least I think that's what that shield's for. I have to try to loop it over and then lock these 2 tabs down on top of it, and it's just really hard. I used a bit of old nail polish to mark where the nut tightens down. Hopefully I don't just lose all of it when I go past this. The old torn boot is now out of the way. I got the new one on there. The end of it was ripped on this one. All right, back to time lapse. Let's get all this buttoned up. I could just sit here and let this music play for you guys in the background, but there's a chance that maybe some of you might not like the music that I choose for the video, so instead I'm going to narrate like I've been doing the past few videos of what's going on. If you haven't seen the past couple videos on the suspension overhaul, I'm finishing up this right side of the car, making sure everything is torqued down by using my service manual, because always use your tech data to make sure you're torquing things correctly. However, if I really want to do this correctly, I would replace all of the bolts on the suspension because some of these are torqued to yield and they stretch when you tighten them down. Good thing everything has a lock nut on it. Can't put this stuff back together dirty. It would drive me absolutely insane. One more. That's on there. Just gotta crank down this castle nut once I got the weight of the car on it. Last one. Last one. See if I can do this without scratching the sticker. I accidentally scratched the sticker on the last one. It made me sad. I don't want to do that. You go in your home. Ich Sportwagen Zoom einbauen. Okay. I kind of screwed myself when I put the rear trailing arm in. I didn't route my e-brake cable through the middle of it, and now I'm having to do it while it's up mounted in its position, and it's not that easy. You can see it's fairly rigid right here. It has to come out this hole right here, and it's not easy because the ball is like stuck in the back corner. So I gotta figure out ways so I can pull it through. I keep forgetting I wanted to make this video less worky and more vloggy, and I can't help myself because I start working and I want to get this car done. It's just so much work. I'm using my graboid tool to pull it out and I think it's working. It's not easy. There we go. Good, good, good. Now I just gotta jack this up. Excuse me, camera. Excuse me, camera. So close. So close. I should probably pay attention to what I'm doing instead of looking at a camera. Holy jeez, that's gonna go down a ways. I think this is it. I think the car will stay under its own power. I don't know what that means. Yeah. Done. 2 hours later. I stopped filming because you guys already saw this side of the car. There's no point in making a whole video about the other side of the car. So now our wheels are back on and I can lower it down and see how much I need to adjust the coilovers. Of course it's gonna get in alignment, don't worry. I am so excited to see this right now. The fruit of my labor. Is there anything under the car? There's a pair of vice grips, that's fine, that can just stay there. All right, plug this bad chicken back in. Plug you in, right there. There's 2. Okay, I gotta lower them a lot. I gotta move the car back and forward a little bit, but I'm pretty sure this is just set at stock ride height. So I'll have to make my adjustments to lower it. I'm not going stance life, but in the morning we'll adjust the height. All right, it's next morning. Gonna get the suspension adjusted.
I almost fell off my chair.
This is the last day of small Sarah. She's waiting for the movers right now to come get her stuff.
It's moving day.
She's moving today, and I'm going to move on getting the suspension adjusted. That was a really dumb play on words.
But don't worry. I still live in Tucson, so we'll still have lots of fun.
Alright, so front coilovers look like they should be fairly straightforward and easy to adjust without having trouble accessing them. The rears are going to be a little bit of a pain to get to. I might be able to do it through the wheel or under the car. Eek. That might actually be all the way low. I know I didn't drive the car around first, and usually you should do that to let it settle. I don't have the option since the car doesn't run right now. That is the max lowest setting right there. I can't lower it anymore. So I need to drive this car to be able to see how it settles. There's no way around it. As far as the front goes, I don't think these B14s are gonna go any lower because it only gives you 30 to 50 millimeters of adjustment, which is like 1 to 1.5 inches or something. So somebody brought up a really good point in the last video about tightening all the hardware in the suspension when the weight of the car is on the ground. And yes, that is important. However, I don't have a 4-post lift and I can't fit under this car when it's on the ground. So what do I do? These rears actually have a lot of adjustability left in them, like a lot. So it's got a long ways to go, and the rear did look like it was really high. So I'm gonna bring the rear down, close up half of this gap. I'm not gonna max them out, and we'll see how it sits. I think I discovered a little bit of a problem I'm gonna run into. Hopefully I can figure out a way to remedy this. There's nothing to grab onto to prevent this body from turning when I go to turn this lock collar, and I'm afraid I think that's gonna turn with it. Yep, just as I expected. That top part's gonna turn. It's not a very smart design. All I had to do was put an adjustment notch on that center collar to keep it from spinning. There. I just double checked on the interwebs first before I go and put this all back together. Front and rear both have 30 to 50 millimeters of height adjustability. If the fronts are all the way maxed out, I should have the rear to match. But something in my head is telling me not to do that, so I'm actually gonna set it to 5 millimeters from the lowest setting. So it's gonna be 50 mil in the front drop and 45 mil in the rear dropped. Generally speaking, most lowering spring setups you see for vehicles will always have the rear drop slightly less than the front. So like for instance, would be a 1-inch front drop, 0.8-inch rear drop. I'm gonna mimic that with how I adjust these coilovers. .148 pound-feet, then loosen it, half turn, 37 pound-feet, and then mark it and go 2 notches on the castle nut. Now the front is 140. There's 140. I almost forgot to put my center caps back on. So I gotta pop these guys on real quick. Valve stem is right there. And this guy should go that. There you go. It is on the ground. It's not settled yet. I still got to drive the car so suspension will settle, but it's not going to lower much more than that, maybe an 1/8 inch at the most. This isn't stanced. I'm not trying to have the wheel gap 0. I want to be able to drive this thing on back roads and not have the tires rub. Just sitting right now without letting it settle yet, I can almost get 2 fingers in there. The front's where I'd have more of an issue if it was lower because I have a little bit of poke up here. Yeah, there's 2 fingers gap right here. A little more than 2 fingers. It could have been a little bit lower, but I honestly think once this settles, if it was any lower than it is, I would have rub issues pushing this car really aggressively on a back road. And that is more important to me than hella flush yo. So next video I do on the TT, I got a couple more things left to go in the engine bay, and then I can put fluids in it and try to start the car. And I also ordered something for it that should hopefully be here this weekend, performance-wise. Yay. So yeah, thank you guys for watching this video, and I will see you soon with another.